So, what if I told you you have completely misunderstood the purpose of the Quran? You might be thinking that that's very harsh. But the fact of the matter is, the majority of the Muslim Ummah do not understand what the Quran is for. What I'm about to say will probably describe many of you. You grew up in a Muslim home, your parents told you to go to madrasa or a Quran school or a Sunday school. You go there, you learn the Arabic alphabet, you learn how to read, you have a Quran teacher that tests you on your recitation, and some of you were memorizing the Quran on your journey to become a hafiz. And that's what's celebrated, and that is what was required of you. You would go juz by juz, chapter by chapter, until some of you have finished the whole Quran and are celebrated as huffaz, the cream of the crop of our community. We celebrate them, we give them awards, there are Quran competitions, maybe you've learned tajweed. What if I told you that everything I just described is not the primary purpose of the Quran? And dare I say, we've been misled in thinking that the point of the Quran is to memorize, is to have a beautiful voice, it is tajweed, it is melody, it is all these things that are actually not the core purpose of the Quran. Let me give you another example. Most of you have attended weddings, and usually our wedding ceremonies, what do they start with? They start with some nice recitation of the Quran. You'll have some nice young man stand up in front of the crowd, and he'll pick some ayats from the Quran, and we're all listening there, also waiting for the food, but we are listening to the Quran. Then what happens? After he finishes reciting it in a very nice way, we comment on his voice. Oh, he's really good. Where does he lead at? But you know what no one asks? What did he just say? What did it mean? Now I want you to imagine if that same young man stood up and spoke in Mandarin for 5 minutes, or spoke in German for 5 minutes. The first thing people will be wondering is, after saying what on earth is going on, what did he just say and what does it mean? You'd be curious. What was he ranting about for 5 minutes? But the moment you hear the Quran, you're not curious. It is almost as if you are saying that when Allah speaks, it's not important to understand what Allah is saying. But when people speak, we have to find out what it means. That's why if someone sends you a message in a different language, the first thing you do is you go on Google Translate or maybe AI and you try to find out what it means. However, you don't do that with the Quran because you've not been conditioned to wonder what Allah is saying. When it comes to the Quran, it's all about how nice does it sound. Look at yourself when you're in the car and you put some Quran on and you're enjoying your favorite surah. It's all about how nice it sounds and almost never about what's actually being said. I'll give you one more example. Most of you, I hope that on Fridays, you go to the masjid early, and which surah do you recite? Surah Al-Kahf. Some of you may have been doing it for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, every Friday like clockwork. And I mean it when I say the Muslims that attend Friday Jum'ah early, reading Surah Al-Kahf, they are the best among us. But those same Muslims, if someone were to ask them, what does Alhamdulillahi alladhi anzala ala abdihi al-kitaba wa lam yaj'al lahu iwaja mean? A lot of them would struggle. So wait a minute. Did the Prophet ﷺ tell us to read Surah Al-Kahf just because? Or was there a purpose behind it? There are clearly lessons in this chapter that we are meant to learn from every Friday, but we are not accessing it. Why are we not accessing it? Because you haven't been told that the Quran is a book to be understood first and foremost, a message from your Lord. That's what the Quran was. So the next time you hear some Quran being recited, what you have to be wondering is what's being said, because the Quran is a book filled with values, morals, lessons, prohibitions, commandments. Allah is speaking to you directly, and there you are nodding along, just focusing on the voice of the reciter. Oh, Sheikh Sudais is my favorite Sheikh. I like Al-Afasi or Husari. That's what you're focused on, not the actual message. And that's why it is entirely possible that we are celebrating Hufadh. MashaAllah, 114 chapters, different qira'at, and we celebrate them. But those same young men and women that are on the Quran competitions, if they were to be asked, of course not all of them, some of them are studying the Quran, but the majority of them, if they were to be asked, can you explain to us a chapter properly? The answer would probably and sadly be no. And this is the problem. Why the Ummah is going behind, why the Ummah is going backwards, why the Ummah is not in the place they should be, is because the Quran is not irrigating our hearts. The Quran is not impacting us because we do not understand it. And we are not even curious about it. If I were to ask you, what is the Quran for? Is it a book to be memorized, a book to be read, or a book to be understood? The answer is all three. But the most important one of those is that you understand the Book of Allah. Which is why I'm calling to all of you, let's change our ways. And who is to blame here really? We could say it's the madrasa systems, we could say it's the teachers, but I think it's a combination of all. And I think that there is a cultural problem that we have where we focus so much more on things that are not priority, and we completely forgot to teach the understanding of the Quran. I encourage all of you, don't just pick a translation, although that would be great, but please also join a tafsir class. Join a program that really teaches you what Allah is saying and allow the Quran to transform you like the Quran transformed the companions. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.